Why a 1031 exchange is perhaps the number one way to build wealth. What is a 1031 exchange? That's today's show. Let's dive into it. Hey everyone, I'm Clayton Morris, longtime real estate investor and founder of Morris Invest, which is a turnkey real estate company. We've been in business for a number of years and we've worked with a lot of 1031 exchange customers over the years. Those are the individuals that are trading a property that's not producing very much cash flow and they want to buy a lot of cash flowing assets, and you can do it tax-free. So let's go into the benefits of a 1031 exchange. If you are new to this theory, if you are new to this tax strategy, then you're prepared for your mind to be blown away. And if you're old school, you've been down the pipe, you certainly understand a 1031 exchange, maybe you can take away a few key pointers here as well that may help the advanced person who's watching this as well. All right, I'm going to go through 5 key areas of what makes a 1031 exchange so incredibly powerful. All right. Tip number 1 on this list, of course, is the tax benefits, the deferring of all of your taxes because you're rolling one asset into another. So you're not going to pay taxes on the benefits and the profit of the sale of this property. We worked with a client recently who had to sell a couple of Nevada properties. They were underperforming. And when I spoke to him on the phone, I said, I got to ask you, he was a doctor. I said, what is your return on investment on these properties? And he said, not as good as yours. He said, they are not good. You know, he spent most of his time in the hospital working. He didn't have time to really watch and figure out how to make sure that his portfolio was cash flowing. So he had these overpriced assets. Okay. They were rented, but they were producing such a minimal return on his investment that he wanted to move those 3 or 4 properties that were like $300,000 in profit. He wanted to move those into lower cost properties that would produce a much higher yield. So we helped him do that. But guess what? He didn't pay any taxes on it because he set up a 1031 exchange. He set it up with a 1031 exchange provider. There's a link below in the description of a company that we work with on all of our 1031 exchanges. They do a fantastic job. So you basically call them up, you set up your 1031 exchange, you're done in like a day or 2. It's that simple. And then when you sell that lower producing property, it just the profits go right into that sort of custodial account. And then you're not touching it, so you're not touching it, and it's not a taxable event, and then you're rolling those profits into these other assets. It's a killer way to save on your taxes. The second reason a 1031 exchange is so powerful is because it allows you to grow your portfolio. This is what the rich have been doing for so many years. They'll take the profits of a sale after 8 years of owning an apartment complex or a number of different properties, pieces of land, it doesn't matter, and then they're trading up. They're going to buy something more. They're going to use the profits and roll it into a higher producing asset. They're going to increase their net worth just by doing that. And again, all tax free. So you can also diversify your portfolio. So maybe you decide to sell a commercial building and you want to buy 20 residential rental properties. You can do that because the like and kind, you can do that. Now you can't sell comic books and buy real estate. That doesn't work that way. It has to be for a like and kind asset. But that's the power of the 1031 exchange. Number 3 on this list is something I alluded to in number 1, which is about getting rid of a crappy asset. Let's be honest. The reason that we work with so many 1031 exchange clients in our office is because they're transferring out of a low performing, low cash yield asset into a high performing one. We had another client just recently who had to sell 7 properties in Minnesota that were not producing anything. They were way overpriced and they were not even rented. So he sold them for a profit in the market, right? So he got some appreciation on these single family homes that he had. And then he was able to roll that profit through a 1031 exchange tax-free into a number of performing properties that had tenants inside. So the properties we do are usually in the 50, 60, 70,000 range, and the rent is anywhere from $650 to $900 to $1,000 a month in rent. So you do the math. You're trading up a $300,000 property that's maybe rented for $1,000 or it was vacant. Now you're rolling that into a higher producing, higher ROI property, again, tax-free, using a 1031 exchange. So powerful. Number 4 on the list is that this is a long tail play, right? This is a long game strategy, meaning that you can keep doing this over and over and over again. This is what I plan to do. And by doing a 1031 exchange, we're selling off some assets now. putting them into the 1031 exchange for profit, and then buying higher producing ROI properties. And then I'm going to do that again. And I can do it again and again and again until I die. Because step 5 on this list is being able to hand down these properties and the profits to my kids, tax free. You follow me here? Now remember, let's go back. Let's say we go back like 5 or 6 transactions ago. Okay, let's say I'm just starting out. Let me paint this picture for you. Let's say I'm the guy in Nevada who's got 4 properties that are overpriced and not producing much. I take those 4 properties, I sell them for a profit, okay? I take that profit in a 1031 exchange and I buy 15 single-family rental properties that are cash flowing, okay? Maybe I look at 3 of those properties in my portfolio and I say, wow, these 3 have really appreciated nicely. So if I sell them, I'll make a nice profit. Great. So now I've got that chunk of properties. I sell off 3 of them in a 1031 exchange again, okay? Maybe they've doubled in profit. I take those 3, put those in a 1031 exchange, sell them off. Now I use the profit from those 3 to maybe buy 7 or 8 more properties. See how your portfolio expands and expands and expands. And then by the time I die, I've not paid any taxes on those profits because I've kept doing 1031 exchanges. Then I hand them down to my children, and guess what? They don't pay any taxes. The death of the owner doesn't transfer any taxes to the children. That's an amazing way to build legacy wealth. That's what we talk about here on the channel. It's building legacy wealth. It's building a dynasty. You want to build a dynasty? Using a 1031 exchange is a killer way to do it. And if you want to figure out what your financial freedom number is, how many rental properties it would take for you to be financially free, we give it away for free. It's 3 pages, totally free. Just click on the free download right here, and you can watch how many expenses can be wiped away with the cash flow from your rental properties. Thank you so much for subscribing and sharing this channel with your loved ones. I cannot wait to read your comments below. If you are ready to take action and set up a 1031 exchange, we will help you do it. Until next time, everyone, go out there, take action, become a real estate investor. I believe it's the #1 way to build wealth. We'll see you next time.